We didn't have a chance on Saturday to talk about it because everyone was busy, but it dropped finally. Go get him, Rick. Get that 4-year contract, Rick. And Ricky got the 4-year deal. Derek, can you break it down? Just under $8 million over 4 years. Non-guaranteed. He got extra money this year, about $800.
And then team option in 4. Yeah.
And he got a little more, got a money bump this year.
864.
Nice,
yeah,
nice
he got like
864.
864. But
which is essentially, by the way, 864 for like one game.
For one game.
Based on the timing of it, which is incredible.
Hey, you earned this $1 million almost. But we talked about it. What does this mean going forward for his future potentially here with the Sixers?
Well, it means that he's under contract. So he would have been a restricted free agent if they didn't offer him this contract or sign him to a contract. With this contract, he will count $1.9 million against cap next year, and then 2.2, 2.4. So all relatively low numbers. I don't think Devon mentioned it is non-guaranteed. I don't think you have to really worry about that because even if you cut him, you would then have a $1.2 million cap hold on your roster. So you're really only even saving about $700K in cap space for the cap space plan. I don't think you have to worry too much about him going anywhere. I did mention, a lot of people, why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long? Basically, it came down to Buddy Hield's contract. Buddy Hield had an $18.6 million guarantee, and then he had about $3.5 million worth of incentives. A couple of those incentives came right down to the wire. One of them, if he made 40% of his threes, he would have got another about $370,000. Another one, if he finished top 10 in three-pointers made in the league, he would have got another $370,000. Sixers were right up against the luxury tax, but he also has incentives on making the playoffs, making the second round, third round, fourth round. So I think from the Sixers' perspective, you want to keep enough room under the tax that if you go into the NBA Finals, you're not going over the tax because you're of team success. So he basically had a bunch. They didn't know how much money they had to work with to give Ricky his deal until they knew whether or not Buddy would hit those 2 3-pointers made and 3-point percentage bonuses. When they found out he wasn't going to do that, they were able to offer him this $864K to get this long-term deal done. I do think it would have been funny if Buddy would have made like 14 threes in a row last night. They would have had been in the luxury tax, but that was a risk they were willing to take.
A friend of mine reached out a little bit after the deal was done and said the Sixers got a great deal that Kidd did not because he's going to be pretty good in this league for years to come.
Yeah. Look, I think whenever you're talking about a two-way player who made was a two-way contract, I think about $560K. If you can be like, hey, we're going to give you $864,000 right now, they generally go like, yeah, I'll take that.
I will sign a deal right now if you say I will give you $864,000 right now. I don't even care what the deal says I need to do.
Happy for him, man.
That being said, like if he continues to develop and that shot, and what's shooting like 35, 36% from 3 so far this year, I think limited sample, of course, but it looks better coming off than it did in college. If that is true, he will earn, like that will be a good deal for the Sixers.
And so we talked to Ricky in the locker room on Sunday before the game as the first time. He actually, weirdly enough, so Saturday we had a Sixers practice. Deal gets reported on. It was not official yet, but so a lot of us are there at the facility, and we're like, "Oh, great! We'll get to talk to Ricky right after we sign the deal." He had to go. He did like a merch or card signing or something that day. So I don't think he was truly prepared.
It was he and Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, him and Oubre were at this. But hey, big day for him. He was at probably like the Deptford Mall, right after signing his big deal. But look, I'm super happy for Ricky. I'd like to think that we had at least a miniature part to play in his story this year and getting to this point. But he said the thing that he learned the most this year, making the jump.
Hold on, hang on. Let him finish the sentence.
It's just news Kyle's going to want to know. That's all I'm saying.
Finish the sentence. Come on, man. Finish the sentence.
Hold on. Oh, I see. Detroit Pistons.
Finish the sentence.
Detroit, no.
We wanted to give you the whole time for that.
So Ricky said the big thing that jumped out, and he said he knows it's a cliche. It's what you would expect as a professional. It's just the relentlessness of the work as a pro, and that no matter what your role is, you just have to stay after it. Like his agent sat down with him and was like, think about what your year has been like, right? Nick Nurse even said Saturday he wasn't very good at Summer League. Like we had decent expectations for him, wasn't very good. He lost his two-way contract temporarily, got cut in a series of moves to some rearranging of deck chairs, basically. But he ends up coming back after there was no interest elsewhere or whatever reason. He comes back on another two-way deal. He's down in the G League. He's fighting for minutes. Jeff Doughton gets a deal before he does.
Which
And
again, Jeff Doughton's deal was about $200K guaranteed with
Yes.
nothing guaranteed for next year. So Ricky's deal is much more significant than the one he got.
Ricky has a pretty established role for a moment, for let's say 5 games or so, and then he's back to end of the bench. And he said what he learned and what he kept in the front of his mind is to just control what you can control. And Tyrese Maxey said some really nice things about him over the weekend, where the gist of it was like Ricky came in training camp, day one. I was like, I want to try to defend Tyrese. And Tyrese was like, all right, well, I'm going to show the rookie what's what. But every single day, Ricky kept trying to take on challenges, tried to lead by example. He didn't care if he was getting torn up or if he was having success. He wanted the best possible assignments that he could pick up because he wanted to learn from it and grow from it. And to me, that is a great omen for the rest of his career. Ricky wants to test himself, not against the guys at the two-way, at the G League type of level. He wants to prove himself against the best of the best. I hope he gets the opportunity to do it. And I would love to see Ricky have his first playoff moment, and his first playoff run would be really cool. Either really way, cool. Happy for him. Hope he continues on after this season.
If he can, it'd be nice if he could make a play, and we would remember it after the playoffs, because that guy has earned that, and we'll see where it goes from there.
We all silly like the mayor.